Hey guys, in this video, I'll be reviewing the 1992 Mr. Olympia. More specifically, I'll be looking at the top two, Dorian Yates and Kevin Levrone. Of course, Dorian won this show with Kevin placing second at his Olympia debut, but I always wondered if there was a chance that Kevin could have or even should have won. In my opinion, this is his all-time best shape, and I was curious to see, just how close it was. I will say that I don't have the best quality pictures nor the best shots for them due to there being a shortage of the pictures, but I think I will be able to judge this one in somewhat of a fair manner. Now, before the video does start, I want to thank you all for 10,000 subscribers. I can't believe it, guys. It is really crazy to me how much of you support me, and it is just insane. I really don't have a lot of words for it. I am very happy, very thankful, very grateful. The sky really is the limit, as 20, 30, and even 100,000 subscribers is potentially, in reach. And, again, guys, thank you so much. And with that all being said, let's get into this video. Alright, starting off this comparison, we have the front double, and you can see that they both present very different physiques. Kevin looks really aesthetic with his large arms and overall cleaner lines, while Dorian looks larger with wider lats, huge calves, and great forearms. The quads are close between the two, with Kevin having more aesthetic and shapely ones, while Dorian has harder, drier conditioning. Speaking of conditioning, it is hard to tell from these pictures alone. However, reviewing footage from the 1992 Olympia will reveal what I am talking about. I definitely suggest watching their individual posing routines to get a sense of their conditioning. In terms of who is winning here, though, I've got to give it to Kevin. He has better, larger biceps and therefore a better arm. His waistline is much more tapered and streamlined, and he overall presents a much more pleasing package in the pose. Here is the front lat spread, and wow guys, I thought Dorian was going to smoke Kevin here. However, Kevin is showing a really impressive front lat spread. Kevin has some incredible arms, a great chest, and some nice sweep to those quads, while Dorian has by far the best lats and clear separation in the quads. Here's a second look at the pose, and you can now see the entire lower bodies. Kevin really impresses me in those quads, showcasing tremendous sweep compared to Dorian. That being said, Dorian has some great calves and good quad detail. The thing is, these pictures are photo shoot pictures and can't entirely be trusted. Although Dorian's quads don't look as separated here, we know that they looked twice as good on stage. Either way, Dorian does annihilate Kevin in the lat region alone and has equally as impressive of an upper body, so he definitely takes this pose. The side chest is a competitive pose as they showcase similar side leg development, great chests, and very tight midsections. You can notice that Kevin shows a deeper cut through the quad ham tie-in. However, if the photo was clear, you could see that Dorian has a grainy quality to his entire physique that Kevin doesn't possess. Here is a clear shot, unfortunately without the lower half, and now you can see that grainy quality that Dorian has. Look at his legs, shoulder, chest, they all have a hard quality that Kevin doesn't possess. That being said, Kevin has a superior level of fullness in his delt arm and chest, along with a very fresh look to his physique. Honestly, I think that Kevin ever so slightly edges out Dorian in the pose, as he has a more impressive arm and shoulder, along with a very conditioned and full chest. Dorian looks really good and has an argument to be made based on his dry granite-like hardness, but I personally prefer Kevin here. Unfortunately, we don't have an entire body shot for the rear double, so this will have to make do. Immediately though, I noticed that Dorian is decimating Kevin in the back. He has superior traps, lats, and a whole lot more width and density overall. Kevin does showcase an impressive lower back region, along with what appears to be better glute condition. And on a side note, although Dorian isn't showcasing any glute striations here, you can see that in these other photos, Dorian clearly has some insane conditioning. His glutes and hams were definitely peeled, and trust me, his lower body conditioning is far superior to Kevin's if you look at any additional photos or videos. That being said, Kevin does have superior arms and delts, but is that enough to win the pose? I don't think so, guys. I'd easily give this one to Dorian. Now, for a second look, you can see that Kevin had some really good lower body conditioning from this picture. However, you can also see that Dorian is dwarfing him in the back, even from this unfavorable angle. So I definitely do still stand firm with Dorian winning this pose. The rear lat spread is again a very dominant pose for Dorian. One of Kevin's biggest advantages, that being the arms, are completely taken out of the equation, and this gives Dorian even more of an easy win. His back is twice as wide, his lats are twice as thick, and his traps are twice as developed. Kevin does have some impressively, dense traps, along with rather good definition in his back. However, this isn't enough to defeat Dorian. Here's another picture, and once again, you can see that Dorian's back looks to be more developed, even from a worse angle. Kevin does show some decent calves and good hamstrings. However, Dorian most certainly was better in those aspects as well. So Dorian wins the rear lat spread rather convincingly. The side tricep was a very strong pose for both of these guys throughout their careers, and here is no exception. Both present very strong triceps, great side legs, thick chests, great delts, and tight midsections. It appears that Kevin has a better tricep though, showcasing more meat in the upper portion of the tricep, whereas Dorian has better calves and a larger, more defined hamstring and tie-in. Midsections look really good for both, however, I feel that Dorian looks just a bit better. Personally, I prefer Dorian in the pose as he executes it a little bit better than Kevin. However, I think that Kevin could have just as much of an argument for winning here. Still, I'm going to give this one to Dorian as he looks more complete overall. Here is the closest thing to an ab and thigh that I could find, and wow, take a look at how shredded both of these guys are in the serratus and abs. They both have some crazy looking midsections, even with this subpar quality image. Dorian was never really known for having the most aesthetic set of abs, nor the best quads, whereas Kevin was known for having a rather good midsection, along with decently, well-developed quads earlier on in his career. Here you can see that Kevin looks a lot more full compared to Dorian, especially in that far pec, and his midsection looks a lot more streamlined and tight. I think this is a rather easy win for Kevin, but I guess we will never truly know since we can't see the legs, nor is this really a true ab and thigh pose. The most muscular was never really a pose Dorian was known for hitting well, while it was a pose that Kevin would learn to master. Here in 1992, the most muscular was not a judged pose, so keep that in mind, but if it was, I would have Kevin winning all day. His arms, delts, quads, and midsection all look superb, and his structure is perfectly suited for the pose. Dorian's arms and delts look kind of small from this angle, and his quads don't look as aesthetic as Kevin's. He does have a really shredded midsection, along with a solid chest. However, Kevin is just pieced together so well. So I've got to give this one to Kevin. However, it doesn't actually play a role in the mandatory poses. Alright guys, that about does it for this video. I had Dorian winning this one as he took the back poses with ease, as well as the side tricep and front lat spread. Kevin looked incredible in the side chest and most muscular, and made a case for himself winning some close shots like the side tricep. Overall, though, I think Dorian presented a more complete physique from head to toe and from front to back, along with better conditioning if you look at other sources of media. Sure, Kevin had great shape and symmetry, however, Dorian had insane conditioning and more mass with rather decent shape as well. Anyways, let me know down below what you guys think about this Olympia. Do you think that Kevin should have won? With that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.